To help us break all of this down, let's bring in Greg Zuckerman. He's a special writer for the Wall Street Journal. Greg, what did you make of Roaring Kitty today?
He's our new Warren Buffett.
Say that again.
He's the new generation's Warren Buffett, it seems like. A lot of followers, generates all kinds of excitement among investors. Listen, the key story for me, the key element here are the shares being sold. They're going to sell 75 million shares on a base of like 306 million right now. So they're taking advantage, as they should, of this new excitement and interest in the stock. But if you're left holding the bag and you hold these shares, you might be frustrated.
Is this anything but a gamble, GameStop?
I'm struggling to find ways to see it as the turnaround story that the bulls suggest. People are downloading games. They're not owning them. They're not going to stores. They're playing them on their phones. I guess there's a turnaround story here. But even Gil, on the call, didn't really suggest what the turnaround play is. It's just a play on Cohen, who runs the company now, but he's also fired a lot of the C-suite, if not all the C-suite executives. So it's a real bet on Cohen. And can he turn it around? He could, but I'm not sure what the plan is.
And Karen was saying earlier, and it was something we were talking about around the newsroom earlier today, is that Roaring Kitty seemed rather caged legally. In other words, he was very careful, and he was full of sort of disclaimers, I guess I would say.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. Listen, to me, what I found interesting was that he said he's not working with anyone, which came as a surprise to some of us.
So where does he get his money? Is it all his? Nobody's backing him?
I guess he made that much 3 years ago that he's able to buy all these options. I was surprised, and others are surprised. So let's see how that shakes out. To me, the real theme here is that it's just hard to short some of these stocks. And when you look at all kinds of bubbles, like housing in 2006, 2007, the only reason it finally burst was CDS contracts. People were able to short housing. And same kind of thing here. It's kind of difficult to short GameStop. I talked to investors who have a tough time doing it. And as a result, these kind of mini bubbles arise every so often.
The shorts are out of the game. Karen.
Yeah, so thanks for being on. I watched some of it, fascinated, and then I just couldn't believe what I was watching. And it seemed like he's a huge Ryan Cohen fan. Like he believes in him. But at no point did I hear of him thinking there was any specific plan to do anything with that money that would generate a return. Did I miss the whole show?
I mean, that's our understanding, too, at the Wall Street Journal. In some ways, this is kind of reflective of how we are as a nation. We're a nation of gamblers. And I don't think it reflects the entire market. I'm not sure you could say, well, we're so loose, monetary policy, it shows you can't cut rates. I think it's a slice of the market. It's a corner of the market. But yeah, we're a nation of punters, and long shots are something that some people are embracing. And the less you know, that's okay. And we wrote a whole story today about degens, people that are kind of rolling the dice on these long shot investment possibilities. They're bets. And as long as people understand that they're bets and they're long shots, that's fine. Maybe it kind of reflects something on the environment and we're in as a nation.
What rock and roll singer does he rather resemble, Tim?
Kid Rock.
Axl Rose.
Axl
He's got some, by the way,
He's got a little Axl Rose in him.
His real name is Bill Bailey. Greg, and Greg, you knew that because I bet you rocked to some GNR.
Yeah,
I guess my
Sweet
question
Child
for you
of
is
Mine, you gotta love it. Yeah,
you absolutely. So
Axl Rose, Warren Buffett.
But part of what you do really well, and the Journal does as an institution, is you're not only telling the story, but you're telling the story of the facts, but you're telling the story behind the story. Now, isn't there some irony here that here's a guy, or here's a group of investors that he is certainly representative of, that are supposedly sticking it to the man, sticking it to the hedge fund institutional world, when in fact it seems to me that the guy running GameStop is a hedge fund and an activist insider, and ultimately it's giving it back to the hedge fund guys who are really giving it back to them. So I'm just trying to understand really what is the force behind this? Because it's one thing to say that there's America is a gambling culture. I get that. But there started at least a lot of this movement to be on the foundation of some kind of a social upheaval as it will, and again, a rally against the forces of Wall Street. And to me, it seems like it's very ironic because a 75%, a 25% dilution for people that are jumping into this company right now is they are holding the bag yet again.
Yeah, it's a great point. And even more so, I mean, who's done really well today? You would think it's the Citadels of the world, the man, as it were, on Wall Street, the establishment, the people who are trading this stuff and happy to make a spread on these kinds of things and enjoy those profits. Yeah, I think it does suggest that there are people in this country, especially young people, that have frustrations. Maybe they emanate from 2008. Maybe they emanate from the fact that they haven't really been able to get ahead. They see housing prices and other kind of things and inflation, and there's a frustration, and they'd rather embrace long shots in their lives, and maybe they're a little uninformed, and it's not just about this, about other things too. You see campus protests and other kind of things that they're rallying behind without really knowing what they are sometimes in some cases, and it's sort of concerning for some of us who are watching this happen.
Interesting connection.